Hey there, my fellow Overlanders, adventurers, and outdoor enthusiasts. Christina Linton here, and I'm thrilled to officially introduce myself as the new CEO of FlareSpace, the accessories division of Storyteller. Today's an exciting day because we're unveiling the latest addition to our Invader product line, which is our second generation Invader brush guard, designed to take your adventures to the next level. The new brush guard seamlessly integrates with the factory sensors, camera, and radar, ensuring everything works with no need for a dealer reset. Plus, it's fully winch compatible, making it the ultimate upgrade for your adventure setup. Our Invader accessories aren't just about looking rugged and cool. They're about giving you greater functionality and making your travels more seamless, empowering you to explore endlessly, live free, and create those unforgettable stories. Don't forget that this new Invader brush guard is winch compatible with FlareSpace's new winch cradle that will be released very soon, so stay tuned. You can check out these and other products on flarespace.com. Now I'd like to introduce you all to Daniel Wangle, Storyteller Senior Quality and Process Engineering Manager. Daniel's got all the details and step-by-step guidance you need to install your brand new Invader brush guard so that it's road ready for your next adventure.
Hey, what's up? I'm Daniel, and we're going to install the new highly versatile Invader brush guard onto this 144-inch Sprinter. This is a robust brush guard designed and tested for Sprinter vans, and I think it's a really smart upgrade if you're venturing off the beaten path and want a little extra protection. And if you're heading away from the crowds, like many of us do, be on the lookout for the winch cradle that Christina mentioned, which is fully compatible with this Invader brush guard. Make sure your van is parked in a safe area to do an install. Make sure it's turned off with the parking brake on and wheels secured, and see that the keys are secured so it can't be accidentally started. Next, you can take out the Invader brush guard to make sure there are no imperfections, and double check to make sure you have the hardware you're supposed to have by referencing the included instructions. Before you can install, you have to remove some pieces. So to prep the front area, you need to use a flat blade screwdriver or a small pry tool and remove the caps at the center area of the OEM plastic bumper on the step plate. Now I'm using a T45 Torx bit and wrench to remove the two screws that are installed under those caps. You will not need these screws again. Now, with the 13mm socket and impact driver, remove the 4 bolts that hold on the lower impact reinforcement bar sitting in front of the oil pan. You do want to keep these 4 bolts, but you won't need the OEM reinforcement bar. Then, from the back side of the bumper, take out the 2 center proximity sensors from the OEM bumper. You want to pull them completely out of the way. Now, we have to open up these holes where the sensors came out of until they are 1 inch in diameter, using a 1-inch step bit. Make sure the sensors and wires are completely out of the way of the bit so they do not get damaged. Now pull the sensors back to the front side and through the drilled out holes. Time to install the replacement impact reinforcement bracket. Apply Loctite 242 to the 4 factory bolts you removed earlier from the van. Loctite begins to set in about 10 minutes and fully cures in 24 hours, so only apply the Loctite when you're ready to start the assembly. Align the lower 2 slots on the replacement impact reinforcement bracket to the OEM mounting points just below the front bumper. Make sure the bracket sits flush against the surface. Now begin reinstalling the 4 bolts by hand first. Once you've started all 4 bolts by hand, use a 13mm socket and torque wrench to torque the bolts to 30 foot-pounds by tightening in a cross pattern, such as lower left, then upper right, followed by lower right, then upper left, for example. This ensures it tightens evenly. You can mark the torque bolts with a paint pen to show that they've been properly torqued, and so you can check later for any signs of the bolts loosening. Now we're ready to install the brush guard. You'll first want to place 2 3/8-inch aluminum spacers onto the OEM front bumper step, one on each side. I like to apply some masking tape to the lower part of the OEM bumper to avoid scratches. Then, with the helper, carefully lift and line up the brush guard over the 2 spacers you just placed. Fasten the brush guard to the bumper with 2 8mm by 40mm button head screws, 2 3/8-inch flat washers, and 2 1-inch plastic washers. Do not fully tighten these bolts just yet. Use a ratchet with a 6mm hex bit to install 3 10mm button head screws with flat washers. These go through the brush guard lower skid plate slots up to the replacement impact reinforcement brackets rivet nuts. Do not tighten these all the way yet. Once all bolts on the bottom and top are loosely installed, check that the brush guard is properly aligned to the front bumper and not contacting the bumper at the corners. Now, torque the three 10mm bolts on the bottom to 30 foot-pounds and mark each with a paint marker. Finally, use a ratchet with a 5mm hex bit driver to secure the two 8mm button head screws through the top side of the bumper. Just be careful not to crack the plastic washer. Okay, almost there. We just need to get the sensor back in. Grab a 3mm Allen wrench and remove the 4 screws in each parking sensor cover plate and separate the plates from the brush guard. Use one arm to come in from the side opening of the brush guard and line up the sensor behind the hole you've revealed. With your other hand, hold the cover plate and line up the retainer ring and sensor, then lightly press the sensor into the retainer ring until it clicks into place. Use that 3mm Allen wrench to install the sensor and plate back to the bumper using those same 4 screws. Repeat these last 2 steps for the other side sensor. Use the 3mm Allen wrench to make sure the screws mounting the tow hook cover and the removable center plate are tight. Step back and take a look to verify the brush guard is evenly spaced side to side and that you're happy with the install. Make any needed adjustments and you're done. Now your rig is ready to go and looking amazing. Have fun out there.